the continent, where there's something of a north-south divide. This low pressure eventually tracking away towards the northeast, but it's only really making room for another one as we move into Saturday, eventually moving into the southern parts of Scandinavia, northern Germany. But you'll notice further south it's somewhat drier and brighter there. So if you're heading towards the continent in the next 48 hours, across northern areas there's a little bit of shower dodging to be done. Further south, well, there's a better chance of seeing the sun. And if you catch a shower there, well, you'll be very unlucky indeed. Coming back towards the British Isles, sunshine in short supply at the moment. These fronts are too close to the north of Scotland to see a lot of sunshine there. And this more southerly feature is gradually working its way away in towards the continent. And we will be left, as we have been for much of the week, with this west or southwesterly breeze. So essentially mild for most areas, but you'll see that we're bringing in more fronts from the Atlantic as we move on through the next few hours. Now, the wind has been a feature of this morning's weather, certainly into the lee of the Pennines. These are the top gust figures that I've seen over the past few hours. But at least for the winds in the west, we are keeping it rather mild, to say the least, for this time of year. Langdon Bay was the top figure I saw, 17 degrees there, around 63 degrees Fahrenheit. And you'll notice that as we move on through the next few hours, we lose the northeasterly, even up in the far northeast of Scotland. And there I think things will become increasingly mild, and you'll be joining the rest of the country staying in this west and southwesterly breeze. Now, that breeze is helping to break up some of the cloud on the eastern side of the country. This is the view across London just at the moment, and I think we'll keep that process going for much of southeastern Scotland, down through eastern parts of England. Always more cloud, though, across these western areas, the western-facing coasts and hills of Wales and the West Country, faring not so well at all. Through the afternoon, we'll increase the cloud across the north and west of Scotland, through Western Ireland too. You might see a little bit more drizzle as we move on through the day. But for most here down in the south, we're looking at 16 or 17, further north, 12 or 13, well above the seasonal average. Now, overnight, we'll thicken the cloud all the while across these northern and western areas. Some really quite heavy rain there for a time. You'll notice, though, we keep the shading down across many parts of the country, and then I think there's a good chance underneath that blanket of cloud of staying mild and frost-free, certainly. But I think you're going to see a spot of drizzle to start off the day on Friday. Even in these eastern areas, there'll be a fair amount of cloud, but eventually, as this front begins to work its way into the North Sea, so I think we'll begin to see things again beginning to brighten up through the eastern side of Scotland and down through the eastern side of England as well. But always on these western-facing coasts and hills, I think we're going to keep a fair amount of cloud and the odd spot of drizzle, but still mild for most regions. Good afternoon.